Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. Tropical Depression Goring has maintained its strength as it moves over the Philippine Sea. Goring was last spotted some 355 kilometers east-northeast of Calayan in Cagayan. It is packing winds of 55 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 70 kilometers per hour. Goring is expected to follow a looping track within the next 5 days. It may intensify into a tropical storm tonight or tomorrow and into a typhoon by Saturday. Goring's trough will bring a scattered rains over the Cagayan and Cordillera regions in the next 24 hours. It will also enhance the southwest monsoon or habagat that could trigger downpours in some areas. These include the Visayas, Mimaropa, Bicol, the Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao, and BARMM. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience isolated rain showers.
Mababa yung chance na ito ay tumama sa ating kalupaan, subalit mananatili ito sa loob po ng 5 araw dito sa silangan po ng Cagayan Valley. Inaasahang lalakas pa, posibleng lumakas into a typhoon early next week at inaasahan din po na mag-enhance ito ng habagat simula po sa Sunday or sa Monday sa malaking bahagi po ng ating bansa. For Metro Manila po, we're seeing na magiging maulan over the weekend. By tomorrow, more on mga afternoon thunderstorms po yung may experience sa first day ng FIBA.
Rain or shine, the FIBA World Cup is kicking off tomorrow. With that, traffic and toll road officials are preparing for the influx of motorists on roads around the Philippine Arena. Thousands of vehicles will ply the North Luzon Expressway or NLEX this Friday for the opening games in Bulacan. Aside from weekend vacationers and basketball fans, many more are expected on the road tomorrow, including media and security teams covering the World Cup. The Tourism Department is anticipating some 600,000 spectators catching the games live. The NLEX Corporation is reminding everyone that some access points to the Philippine Arena will be closed off. So better plan your trips this long weekend and heed the advice of these traffic authorities.
Sana po mas maaga po silang magbakasyon. Huwag na po nilang antayin yung Friday. Maaring bumiyahe na sila ng Huwebes ng hapon o gabi.
Dahil po sa aming eksperyensya, kung magdi-declare po kami ng suspension ng number coding, dumadami po ang sasakyan sa lansangan na nagki-create po ng traffic.
In other news, Makati Mayor Abby Binay is thinking of running as mayor of Taguig in 2025. But Binay told the big story that nothing is final yet and that she is waiting for a clear sign on whether or not she should pursue the plan. Binay claimed residents of Embo barangays have been persuading her to run in the city of Mayor Lani Cayetano. This year, the Supreme Court ruled that Taguig is a rightful owner of Embo barangays and not Makati City.
As far as 2025 is concerned, I keep all my options open, and that is one option. So it is not the only option, but it is one that I am considering. So, hindi kasi ako para magsalita ng tapos to say, no, I'm not running. Because what if I am? And it's only 2023. Marami pong pwedeng mangyari. I still have 1 year to decide. I think 2024 will be the time where I will have to decide. I know it's a cliche, but I always say I'm still waiting for a sign.
Mayor Binay also noted that the distribution of school supplies in Makati schools have already started even before the Supreme Court's decision on her city's territorial dispute with Taguig. Makati is also pushing to keep 3 schools in Embo barangays under its jurisdiction. These are Makati Science High School, Fort Bonifacio Elementary School, and the Fort Bonifacio High School.
Well, first of all, the schools are owned by the city. So, yun yung sinasabi namin that, well, every city is mandated to establish a science high school. So, the Makati Science High School is necessary in compliance with the mandate to establish a science high school per city. So, we are very confident that we will be able to keep When we say keep it in Makati, meaning keep it under DepEd Makati. So it will be retained under DepEd Makati. We will be presenting our position with the Office of the Secretary of DepEd to explain our position on why we do not intend to include the 3 schools for lease.
Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. The government officially opens the public bidding for the rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The Transportation Department, along with airport authorities, invited investors to bid for the 170.6 billion peso public-private partnership to upgrade the airport. The contract would initially cover 15 years but may be extended by another 10 years. Under the indicative schedule, bids for the project should be submitted on December 27 rather. A draft concession agreement will be out on September 8, while the final version will be released 1 month after December 8. A pre-bid conference is also set on September 22, while one-on-one meetings with prospective bidders will be held in October and November. Moving on to another story, China is against Japan's planned release of radioactive water from a nuclear plant to the ocean. According to Beijing's Foreign Affairs Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin, they have summoned Japan's ambassador to China to make their opposition known. China called the move selfish and irresponsible, claiming that the radioactive discharge poses risks of nuclear contamination on its neighboring countries. Beijing is urging Tokyo to cancel the water release. As for the Philippines, the DFA said that it puts utmost priority on the protection and preservation of the marine environment. Today, Japan is supposed to release more than 1 million metric tons of treated radioactive water from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant. The International Atomic Energy Agency earlier said the discharge follows international safety standards. Now, let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. The National Economic and Development Authority is optimistic that President Bongbong Marcos's campaign promise of rice at 20 pesos a kilo is still possible. NEDA says this is doable if local production is improved, increasing palay yield per hectare to 7 tons from the current 4 tons. Other factors should also be considered, like calamity preparedness and private sector's investment on rice farming facilities. The Education Department says it is unlikely that opening of classes next year will revert to June. DepEd said the transition period for the proposal could take up to 5 years. This is because they have to maintain a certain number of school days. A Pulse Asia survey showed that 80% of Filipinos want a June to March school calendar, as extreme heat is usually experienced in the months of April and May. And still on education, lawmakers are mulling a budget cut of more than 1 billion pesos for the Commission on Higher Education. From 30.9 billion pesos, CHED's budget could be slashed to 29.7 billion pesos. Legislators found out that CHED had not been fully utilizing its funds over the last 3 years. On a lighter note, here's the country's first digital human and the new companion of basketball fans, all hyped up for the FIBA World Cup. Pearl is an artificial intelligence avatar that can interact with just about anyone. But if you want to talk to this AI creation of the NTT Data, you'll have to be physically present at special kiosks that will be set up around the Smart Araneta Coliseum and the Mall of Asia Arena. Pearl can answer FIBA-related questions from securing seats to the games to where to get the snacks. Of course, she can also talk numbers, game results, statistics, leaderboards, and even upcoming matches.
Good day to basketball fans from the Philippines and all over the world. My name is Pearl, and I will be your guide at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 live events.
One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. I'm Denise Tan, reminding you again that the FIBA World Cup starts tomorrow, August 25. So support Gilas, support Team Pilipinas, watch and buy tickets to the biggest sports event of the year. And let us all root for our team.